There are some small items of articulation and style that run sort of throughout the piece, and if you work on them back to back or notice them how they work through the piece, it helps you practice it all together and all well. There's a marking at measure 5 that shows up a number of times, and sometimes my students are confused. You have a slur, and the last note of the slur has a staccato. This doesn't mean to tongue that note, it means to clip that note short. So I'm going to play measure 5 incorrectly. What they actually want is for you to play the note separated from the next, so that there's just a little moment in the sound that's gone, that's silent. The same thing is true then in measure 8. For example, the upper note is just a little bit separated, and it helps make the lower note sound more staccato. If the upper note is long, it's hard to make the bottom note sound really crisp. So it's very important to observe that, not to tongue the note, but to clip it off. If it doesn't say not to play staccato, I generally choose to play legato most of the time. Measure 3. I'll play it fairly smoothly. A place where I change my mind about that and do something a little different would be down at measure 41. It's marked con spirito, and the first 2 motives have a dotted eighth, and this is typically a rhythm that we perform a little bit separated. So even though it's not marked staccato, it's also not specifically marked legato, so I choose to play it a little bit marked, a little bit marcato. Accents sometimes mean to make the note really strong. They also can mean to play the notes a little bit separated. So for example, at measure 46, instead of playing I'll put a little space between each note, and that sets it off. It helps the accent be more clear. It builds the excitement even more, I think.